The current weekly candle on Bitcoin looks set to be one of the most bearish weekly candles we've seen in a number of weeks. I'm going to take a look in this video at what I expect to happen throughout November and coming towards the end of the year. Before I begin the analysis, I'd really appreciate if you could like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and in the comment section below I'm going to leave two links, one to our free Telegram group where you can receive daily market updates, and also a link to our website where you can find out more information about us. So throughout October, the first part of the month was pretty much sideways and downtrend, but closing out the month of October really strong, missing making a new all-time high at the final day of the month. But we've seen a pretty strong rejection from there. And this is sort of the weekly candle that you don't really want to see. Now, one thing to note and to remember is a couple of weeks ago we did break out of this downtrend, or you could say it was a bull flag, which had been developing a number of weeks from the all-time high, something like that. And we did actually last week retest this level perfectly and gave a really strong reaction, actually doing like over 10% I think from that up to that, 12-13%. So really nice reaction on the retest. So the obvious is we don't really want to see any weekly acceptance back below this now. We could get further retests, but we want to start to see continuation back towards making this new all-time high. I'm going to switch over to the daily time frame, but I'm going to leave this weekly trend line in place because one thing I think there's a chance of is we do see more interactions intra-week with this level. And if this starts to come towards the end of November, early part of December, I'm kind of really interested in this 63,000 area for a swing. It's probably not what people want to hear considering how close we were to an all-time high, but this is where we've got a gap and daily demand, which was brought about from when middle part of October, really when Bitcoin started to make its move towards the upside. Just really strong move from here, but left behind this gap which has not yet been filled. So towards the end of the month, early part of December, this could come back into making a retest of this level, daily demand gap, the weekly trend line retest as well. And also I'm aware that the daily EMA 200 as well, which is this yellow line here, if we imagine as the days go on, this could do something like this, continue its sort of upwards movement, and this line here could all sort of interact perfectly. So then we end up with the gap, the daily demand, the EMA 200, the weekly trend line, all sitting around the 63,600 area. This could line up for a perfect place to take a swing, looking for a move back towards the all-time high. So that's something I'm not ruling out throughout November before we do see a new all-time high. Of course, we've got the elections this year as well, just a couple of days away now. So over the next couple of days, just be very cautious. We could see a lot of crazy things in the market as polls come out and sort of the final betting odds on Polymarket and things like that swing. This could of course cause unusual movements in the market. But for me, throughout this month, I'm just looking, this could be an ideal place to load up, 63,500. Don't want to start to see any acceptance back below this level. So really looking for a strong reaction there. But I do think there's a good chance we do get that retest. Just flipping over to the total 2 market cap, which is the market cap excluding Bitcoin. So essentially we're looking at altcoin performance here, and this is still in a downtrend. This has not broken out in the way that Bitcoin has, which isn't unusual because we know that the market is led by Bitcoin. So Bitcoin dominance has been up and Bitcoin has broken out, which is the first part of what we would expect, and altcoins generally follow later. But this is pretty bearish right now, so we're kind of a long way, I think, from or a fair way from altcoins having any significant rally. We can see a number of rejections from the high here in March, and again, as this is not a nice weekly candle on the total 2, we have kind of a sort of falling wedge in play here as well. So potentially, if we can see a continued rejection here, we're looking back down to 800 billion, 750 billion, something like that. But similarly to what we saw recently on Bitcoin with the weekly breakout of this trend line here, we're eventually looking for the same things to happen on total 2. So keep an eye on the weekly time frame for the first sort of flip of this really back above $1 trillion, and that's when we can start to think we're going to get a significant movement across the altcoin market. Let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comments. What are you expecting from Bitcoin and crypto as we close out the year of 2024? Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.